record. All right, good evening, everyone. I've put together a couple of slides that we'll run through, and there are a couple of things I've got on the agenda for tonight. So can everyone hear me? We just get a wave if you can all hear. Okay, cool, excellent. To kick things off, we've only got a couple of days till the end of the month. We have been told by head office, obviously, that tomorrow is effectively the last day that they're in office. So if you have got any queries around the end of the month, please make sure you talk to them tomorrow, because there'll be no one around on Saturday as the real last day of the month to help out if there's anything that you need to get done. So kind of have a look at your trees and the people who've joined and make sure everything's under control, and hopefully you're at the sort of rank level that you're hoping for. All right. So what I'm going to do, just to kick things off, has anyone got any questions to sort of start off with, anything that you need answers on tonight? Otherwise, I'm going to dive into a couple of things around some of the new stuff that's coming out. If anyone's got a question, just unmute yourself and throw it our way quickly.
Craig, mine was just read that wholesale stuff, if you could briefly.
Sure, I've got that on the to-do list. I've got a couple of slides on that, Tan. That's great.
Thank you.
Anything else from anyone? Okay, so let me see if I can share my screen. All right, so can you all see the PowerPoint presentation there? Just give me a wave, Michelle. You can see the PowerPoint slides? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry.
So, guys, we've got a whole heap of stuff that's kicking off at the start of next week with a whole heap of new products. So hopefully you've all had a look at that and you all know what's coming. So especially if we just look. So that's the list of all the new products. There is a price list available from our Healthy Wealthy website. If you need to check on that, please make sure that you've got all those prices. We have been told that all of these products will be in the back office from Monday, so you'll be able to add those and change your LRP or get them already. One that is new is this hydrating cream one, which wasn't announced at convention, but it is one that is available for us. So really good that we've got a whole heap of new options coming our way. So I thought what I'd do to start off with, so there's all the prices, and what I'll do in the back of this event is just put in this PowerPoint presentation. So if anyone's looking for the links to the price list or any of that information, just head to the event after this, and I'll link into Dropbox a copy of the slides and the PowerPoint presentation if anyone wants to know. So has anyone got any questions on the new products at all? Otherwise, I'm going to dive into Lifelong Vitality and ask for some people to share if they have used it at all. So any questions?
One question, Craig.
Yeah, Minion.
What happened to the Hope oil?
Very good question. And I don't have an answer for you. I have asked head office to let us know, and no one's come back to me. So it's on my hunt list, because it was certainly announced at convention that Hope would be available and that all the proceeds from that obviously go to Operation Underground in the US. So let me follow that one up, and I'll let you know, but definitely haven't seen any more around that. So for all of the product, as I said, they have told us that they'll be available from the 3rd of April. The one thing, I'll just click on that slide quickly. That's the one thing that we're still waiting for is the new convention kit. They've had problems getting the wooden boxes into Australia through customs. So they've indicated that it's going to be middle to end of April before that new Nature's Solutions kit is available for us in Australia. All right. So just keep your eyes and ears open. We'll hopefully have some more information on that, but really, really cool kit. It's a big one. So you've just got to play it carefully as to if someone buys that, you've got to have a good conversation with them around LRP. This is actually the photograph of the American kit. It's not the photo of the Australian one, because obviously they've got TerraZyme and a couple of other products in the American one. But not a bad option for someone who's keen to build a business and is looking for something, sort of one of each of all the products, to get a real experience around that. All right. So just watch this space, and we'll let you know as soon as we know a little bit more about it. So what I thought I'd do is just share with you, this was one of the slides that they shared with us on the Thursday morning around the launch of the new Lifelong Vitality, which is obviously available in Australia now as well and approved by TGA. And basically what they spoke about is, in the past, we've obviously had to have a conversation around LRP and get people to buy into the idea of the essential oils and make sure that they place an order around that every month. But what they've said is, obviously now with Lifelong Vitality coming on, there's a real opportunity to include in the Empower Kit class, but also in your wellness consults with clients, the benefit of looking at Lifelong Vitality as part of LRP. So I thought what I'd do is just throw it out there. I know Jessie had a webinar the other night, but is there anyone online who has actually used Lifelong Vitality or is using it and is happy to share with us a little bit around how it's worked for them? So Danielle, you've used it. Can I just unmute you? Would you be happy to just share with us a little bit around how long you've used it and what your thoughts are?
Well, we used it for a few months. I haven't used it for a few months myself at the moment because I couldn't take that many tablets of being sick.
Yeah.
But we noticed, James takes as well, he's here with me. We noticed mood-wise, really, we were just so much more balanced within our mood. I had little wispy bits of hair from post-children that actually came back and grew properly. I had anxiousness and overwhelm just sort of disappear, and brain fog and all that sort of stuff. It was just all gone, and that was all post having kids. Particularly after my second child, but that was all around. So that was good to really feel that difference. And aches and pains and things like that. But like, we actually stopped fighting. We, just those silly little arguments that you have when you get frustrated at each other, it just basically stopped, and we stopped taking them for a month and we started fighting again. And we're like, what's going on? And that was the difference. So,
great.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard people say that they may not know when they're on it how good it is, but if they go off it and miss it for a little while, they really realise what they've missed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's when you notice.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good on you. And it's interesting you say 2 capsules of each twice a day is like a meal on its own. It's like trying to stuff 6 capsules down your throat at once is a bit of a problem. But it's interesting because I'm not sure if anyone's watched Jessie's webinar, which is on her group page. On Tuesday night she did one. But it's often not a bad idea to start off with just a half dose and use one of each in the morning, one of each in the afternoon with a meal, and see how you go, and kind of even see if that as a preventative, kind of a maintenance of health, is not a bad option. I know my son, yeah, Danielle?
That's all we did. We were just taking one a day. Once I found out I was pregnant, I was taking the 2 a day, and then I was taking the 4 a day until I couldn't follow them anymore.
Yeah.
We found it was enough.
Yeah, good on you. I know my 19-year-old son has started taking them in the last couple of weeks, just with assignments and examinations at uni, and he's definitely commented that he feels like he's got a lot more focus and a lot more energy. So it's only been sort of a week and a half, and he's on half a dose as well. So definitely an opportunity. So is there anyone else who's taking it at the moment that wants to put up their hand and just share with us if they're using it?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, Craig.
Yeah, Minion? Sorry,
Bobby, we're going to read a book.
there we go.
Oh, sorry. Are you talking to me?
Or were you going to share? Are you using it, or is it? Oh, sorry.
I quickly share. I have been taking them. I notice a big difference with energy, and yeah, if I don't take them, and I was a bit slack when convention was on because it was busy, and I certainly paid the price. I think on the Sunday after I got back, apart from getting home after midnight on Saturday night. But yeah, certainly Sunday I just felt really bleh. So just, yeah, I certainly notice when I don't take them, but just more energy. And I did a little video the other week, and you sort of, I haven't been, that you get to that 3 o'clock slump and you're grabbing for your chocolate or your coffee or your sugar fix to get you through. And I just find being on the LLV that I don't need that. I'm right to sort of get through the day without grabbing for naughty things I shouldn't eat at that time of day.
Yeah, good on you. That's great. Sorry, Michelle, you were going to add as well. You on it as well?
Yeah, I've been taking it for quite some time, but I only take it in the morning. So I only take one of each, so 3 capsules in the morning, and I still have great effect with that. And similar to Minion, I didn't take it on convention, and yeah, felt the energy drop straight away. But yeah, I find just taking it once a day is enough to give me a bit of a boost. I could probably use it in the afternoon about 3 o'clock, but I normally forget.
Yeah, excellent. Good on you. Yeah, I know we had a training session on Sunday afternoon, and Jackie Isles was there as well. And a number of Jackie's team use it that way, Michelle as well, just kind of a quarter dose almost, I suppose, as a maintenance. Because if you're taking a decent food intake as well, it is a supplement to support that. So, and if you start feeling off and feeling down and run down and maybe want to boost it, then give it a double dose or crank it up a little bit to see how you go. But that's excellent. Good feedback. Well done. Is there anyone else who's using them and wants to share at the moment or had any experience with it? Is anyone planning to use them from next week? If you are, I want to know why. Who's planning?
Yeah, I've started using them. Hello, everyone. But only for, it's been about a week. So I've noticed that I actually went without my morning coffee and didn't even realise that I didn't go and get it. So I had a crazy busy morning, and usually I am on to the coffee before 8 o'clock, and didn't notice it. So I'm feeling like I'm not sort of scrambling to find that energy boost, which is really good, amazing.
Awesome, that's great, Lauren. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm taking half, so one of each twice a day.
Okay, awesome. And I think it's not a bad conversation to have with wellness advocates who sign up with you as well, because some people will have a look at it and say, geez, $115 a month can be expensive, but that's not for us to judge price. But if you talk to them about starting on a half dose and then considering, remember that if they put it on LRP, they're going to get points back. So after 12 months, they're getting 30% of that back. So it's only costing them $80 a month for a lifelong vitality after the 30% LRP points. And when you think about doing that as a half dose, that's really only sort of $40 a month. And you're then getting all 3 nutritional vitamins, minerals, and all the omega oils and the oils coming in as well. That's actually really, really cheap for a therapeutic grade kind of equivalent of a naturopath or a natural practitioner's quality of a nutritional product. So not a bad idea to talk about starting, even if it is on a half dose, and then kind of alternating between a LRP 1 month with LLV and then the next month with some oils or some other products. So that's great. Anyone else using them and wanting to share or plan to use them next month? There we go, Nira. I'll unmute you as well, and then I'll come to Michelle.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I've actually had them for quite a while. I've ordered them a while ago, and they've lasted me forever, just simply because I've been very inconsistent, I've got to admit.
I actually also have the DDR Prime, so I use 4. When I did use them, I did feel the difference, and I think it's just my hectic life with my 2 kids and one of them with special needs, and I forget to look after myself in many ways, and I know how important it is for me, because if I'm strong, my family's strong. But definitely putting it back now, I can't do the 4. I find it too much, so I do a double, just a 2 with the DDR Prime, and I think I do feel it. I do feel a difference, and I do feel the spring in my step for sure.
Great, that's excellent. Good on you. I'd love to hear some more over the next couple of weeks as people are taking them, and we've put out a challenge for people to post a video of how they're feeling once they've been on LLV for 2 weeks, which will be great if we can get that up on the website and start having some testimonials, which you can then share with other interested people. That'd be great. Michelle, did you want to add anything yourself? No, we're all good. Okay. Anyone else planning on using them, or anyone want to say some more about LLV? Okay. One of the things that's really good around the LLV, let me just make sure that I am still sharing what I'm sharing. Remember with the LLV, it's $115 and it's 60 PV. So even if this is the only product that they're putting on their LRP every month, because it's over 50 PV, that means every month on month, their bonus points are going to increase. So as you're aware, at 50 points, the percentage that you get as bonus points goes from 10 to 15 to 20, 25, 30. So if they use the LRP and order the lifelong vitality every month, that means they're going to continue to increase and eventually get to their 30% bonus points. So it's a really cool conversation to have with someone around why they would go on loyalty rewards and how they get the most benefit from it as well. Okay, so that's a really good one. So there are a lot of videos that have been posted. There's a lot of information around there. There is a question here from Danielle. Will points be allowed to use the LLV pack? I'm actually not sure. We'll have to see when that comes up on Monday, and we'll check whether it's available to order with points. I'm quite sure, obviously, if you've got accumulated dollars in your AR balance, now that you can use that AR balance yourself in back office, you should be able to use that accumulated AR to purchase them. But we'll have to have a look and see if they're going to allow points, but I'm not sure if they will. One of the other questions just asked in the chat is, if I just duck back to that slide, one of the oils that is now available is the new lavender piece, the calming blend. So do you all know the difference between the new one that's coming and the old Serenity or lavender piece that we had? Who knows the difference? Who wants to put their hand up and tell us what's in the new one? Because I don't know off the top of my head. I might have to go and hunt it down. Minion, can I unmute you? Do you want to add?
Yeah.
So what's in the new one?
It's basically the same as lavender piece, but it's got the vetiver, cedarwood, and highwood in it. So it's like the powerhouse sleep blend.
Okay,
so that's the difference.
Vetiver, highwood, and cedarwood. So it's going to give you a good kick and let you go to sleep fairly quickly, as I understand it. So what I've heard is that this one is now in Australia, and orders from next week, you'll be getting the new calming blend around that one as well. So as Tanya said as well, it's a definite cool oil to be trying and using with any kiddies that are looking to calm down and maybe on the spectrum. So think about that and be worth having a good read up on Lavender Peace. The other one, Pettigrain, for those of you who were at convention, obviously that's now kind of Dr. Hill's version of lavender. So Dr. Hill is absolutely mad around Pettigrain because he doesn't like the lavender smell at all. And his conversation, he did a very long presentation, obviously over sort of 2 or 3 days, But there's some really cool slides and information around the power of petitgrain, which is extracted from the leaves of the citrus or orange plant, not the peel or the orange fruit itself. And the linalool in petitgrain is actually as much, if not better in some cases, than on lavender. So if you weren't aware of that, definitely have a look, and it might be worth giving the petitgrain a try. And I really like it, and it's probably one of my favorites that's in the diffuser at the moment here at home. So that's really cool. So, and spikenard obviously can be a bit expensive, but spikenard is an amazing equivalent to frankincense. So as Dr. Hill said as well, if you don't have frankincense, grab spikenard and use it for everything that you would possibly want to use it as well. And yeah, Catherine, petitgrain, there's actually a good suggested protocol for using petitgrain for anyone with high blood pressure. So if you're looking for more information on that, then find out a little bit more about the slides that Dr. Hill shared on blood pressure at the convention. Okay, so let me just duck through a couple more of these slides. So you can all see those three, the 3 canisters lifelong vitality pack. So you're getting the combination of cellular energy blend in the alpha CRS, you're getting all the fatty acids and CPDG essential oils in the EO Omega, and then in the VMZ, you're getting the essential vitamins and minerals. So on the doTERRA.com website, if you go and have a look for the Lifelong Vitality Pack, there is a full PowerPoint presentation which you can download, which is basically the whole presentation that Dr. Hill went through if you were interested. Because there may be, as he says, some of the nerd herd, hey Catherine, and you may come across the engineering client or the medical practitioner who wants to know a little bit more around what's in them. So if you're looking for that PowerPoint presentation, it is on the doTERRA.com slide. All right. So that's the Lifelong Vitality, $115, and that's available and kicking off. Susan's just made a note that said the new lavender piece is already in and it arrived in your order today. So that's great. Good to know. So there's already lavender piece available and being distributed. So great stuff. Okay. So I've spoken briefly around the Nature Solution product kit. Keep your eyes and ears open. That one will be coming. Okay, dokes. Can you all see that little graph, the distributor retention? So this was one that was shared with us on the Thursday. Any guesses who has a retention of 90%? Who would these people be? Which wellness advocates do you think have a 90% retention within doTERRA? Anyone want to have a guess? Unmute yourself and let me know who you think that would be. Is it a presidential diamond?
You're in PJ.
That's probably their team, yes. But generally, any other guesses? All right, cool. So this 90% retention rate is the average retention of any wellness advocate who goes on loyalty rewards and signs up at least one new member. So across the country and across America, if you have a wellness advocate who is signing up someone, at least one person, and they themselves are on loyalty rewards, they operate at around a 90% retention rate. So if you're looking to build a business for yourself, that's a really good story that you should be talking and sharing with people around going on loyalty rewards and seeing whether you can get them to share and host a class. Because if you can do that, you've got a real probability that they're going to operate at that 90% level. And that's exactly why Yura and PJ and Vanessa and Paul and certainly a lot of those guys are at such a high retention rate, because that's how they build their business. So it's not about people just buying product retail. It's about people staying on the business. So why do I share that picture with you? Because that is really why doTERRA have now started with this new Premier bonus. So I thought I'd just run through this Premier bonus, Premier and Silver bonus with you. Has everyone heard of it? They all know that it's there? Yep. So the new Premier and Silver bonus kicks in it is already in from the 1st of March. And the way it operates is anyone who in March, starting this month, ranks as Premier and or Silver and keeps that rank in March, they will qualify for the new empowerment bonus. And one of the requirements for that is they have to be either Premier or Silver. And the second requirement is they have to enroll at least one new person on 100 PV enrollment, okay? So it doesn't help if you're a Premier but you haven't enrolled anyone, you're not going to qualify for this empowerment bonus. So effectively what it looks like is the company has taken 1% of all commissionable volume around the world and thrown it into a pool. At the moment, one of those shares is around about $190 US. So if you're a Premier or Silver and you qualify for this, you're probably going to get 230 to 250 Australian dollars extra each month as part of this empowerment bonus. So if you're Premier or Silver and you meet those requirements, you'll qualify for one share in that pool, okay? So what that means, looking at the sort of average commissions for a Premier, and remember Premier is someone who's got 2 executive legs, so you've got 2 people of 2,000 volume each, and your overall volume's 5,000. So the Premier will have on average around, in American dollars, $797. Then they will qualify for this new empowerment bonus, and that'll give them close to 1,000 US on average. I had a conversation with a Wellness Advocate today around these averages. Couple of things to remember. I think, remember firstly that in Australia, we tend to build to rank a lot quicker than in America, because through a lot of the teachings of Jesse, Paul, and Vanessa, because we're building down in a single leg and we rank advanced to elite and then a second leg and rank advanced to Premier, there's a real possibility that we're not going to be on this average commission. Why? Because if you've only got 2 legs going down and you're sharing as a Premier down 5 or 6 levels, if you've only got 2 legs, you don't have any horizontal spread. So your average uni level can be less than in America, where they build out wider and build for power of 3. So don't be alarmed if your average is a little bit below the Premier. At those levels, it takes time to build your business out wider so that your uni level bonus starts increasing. Also remember that these averages include people who are building regularly. So that means they're enrolling new people every week. So included in that average commission is a big part of fast start bonus as well. So if you're a Premier but you've only enrolled 1 or 2 people in the month, you can't expect to earn that same average commission that might be coming over in America, okay? And yeah, as Catherine says, always remember the first time you hit the rank, you're not on average. You've got to build that leg and that business so that you eventually get to average as well. So don't sort of set your heart on all of these average price numbers that are there. Focus on your business and keep building and make sure that you build it solid and take it further. So let's just look at the silver one. For the silver bonus, you obviously need 3 elites. And each of those elites will need to have 3,000 volume. So if you qualify for silver on Saturday this week, and you've also enrolled at least 1 person with 100 PV, then you will also qualify for the empowerment bonus. But remember that silver also starts getting into a performance bonus pool. So as silver, you'll average around 2,000 plus the performance bonus, and then an empowerment extra 190 US, which is going to give you about 2,500 Australian as an average silver. All right. So guys, this is an amazing opportunity. And why do I say that? So Premier, for anyone who's looking to build rank, Premier is the foundation for which rank? Who can tell us? If you can, just unmute yourself and shout out.
Gold.
Right. Thanks, Tanya. So Premier is really important for anyone who wants to go to gold. because gold obviously needs 3 Premier legs, and Premier is also the basis for gold, and gold's the foundation for blue diamond. So if we're encouraging people under this bonus to go to gold, there's a really good solid foundation for you to go to that level of growing to blue diamond, but also Premier to get yourself to gold. So really, really valuable. And silver is the foundation for, which one's that? All right, I'll throw it in. That's me. We got a diamond. That's it. So silver is the foundation for diamond. So if you can get folks to silver, you're going to diamond. And then obviously at presidential diamond, you need platinums, which is going to be a whole heap of silvers as well. So really good opportunity to increase and get yourself a salary increase of $200 a month. So that's great. So for those of you who maybe weren't at convention, this is the average remuneration earnings from last year that was that they shared at Leadership Retreat in the US. Again, these are average numbers. It's based on average US dollars. But this presentation, I'll attach a copy of this into the presentation and talk about it some more. Okay. Has anyone got any questions on the empowerment bonus, or do you all understand it? So make sure you Premier Silver, make sure you enroll one person on 100 PV, and you've got to make sure you do that every month, month after month, in order to qualify for that bonus. All right. Any questions around it, or we're all good? Cool. If you've got any questions, either flick me a note on chat or unmute yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking. It's not because I like the sound of my voice, but it's because everyone's quiet. Okay. So I had a conversation with Tanya Chiara during the week as well. For those of you who are not aware, in America, last year, they have now launched a new membership category called a wholesale account. Okay, so we have a wellness advocate who has or gets wholesale prices, but in America there's a wholesale account. So this is the American registration screen. Let me just reduce that and make that a little bit bigger. So if you enroll someone in America, the first one that comes up is a wholesale customer is the first option. And the second option is wholesale prices. All right, now the reason they have this in America, I'll just see if I can make that full screen. All right, can you all see that? Okay. So the reason this was created in America was largely for tax purposes. In America, if anyone was a wellness advocate or is a wellness advocate, they have to give doTERRA their tax details and their tax number. And a lot of Americans didn't want to do that because they had a wholesale account, they weren't planning on sharing, and they didn't want to hand over their tax details because they're obviously a lot more worried about that than what we are possibly. So in order to accommodate that in America, they created this wholesale customer. And then there's this wholesale prices, or as we know it, a wellness advocate. The problem is in America, wholesale customer sits at the top of the option list and wholesale prices sit second. So from June or July this year, this is going to be in Australia. Now, it is not all a bad thing, although it can be confusing. So let me just explain to you exactly what it is. So in Australia, can you see that one? In Australia, we have wholesale prices, and we've got a preferred member at the moment in Australia. So the preferred member is going to disappear. That one will go. And from June or July, we're not sure when yet, we will have a wholesale prices, which is a wellness advocate. And then we will have, like this American one, the wholesale customer. The difference is as follows. The wholesale customer gets effectively everything the same. They pay the $35, they get the wholesale prices, they can order, they can go on loyalty rewards. They cannot earn any commission, all right? No matter how much they order every month, they cannot earn any commission. And the other thing is they cannot sponsor anyone. So if you have a wholesale customer who comes into your tree, they will be a bright green color, and you will not be able to put anyone underneath them. So that may cause a little bit of a concern, all right? But everything that they order adds up as volume for you. So it all counts as volume for you in that month. So if you've got a wholesale customer who just regularly wants to use Lifelong Vitality, you make sure that you put them somewhere in a leg so that their volume adds up and it helps that leg either go to Elite or to Premier or whatever. But remember, you can't have anyone underneath them. However, if that person decides over 90 days, they change their mind, and you talk to them and explain to them that they may want to share the oils and they may want to earn some money. So it gives you 90 days to have a really cool conversation around how they can use the oils, how they can share the oils, are they interested in building? And after 90 days, they can upgrade their account and they can become a wellness advocate. When they do that, you will get an email and you will then be allowed another 14 days to place them anywhere you want in your business. So if you've got people who are unsure, they're not yet at the build stage, it's not a bad thing to place them somewhere in your business as a wholesale customer. They'll come up as green, all of their volume will add up for you, but remember that no one will be able to go below them. So wherever you put them, they will go either left or right, and they will pan out across your tree somewhere. You may end up with a whole heap of little green leaves on your tree, which may look confusing. But it's really going to mean that we've got to keep in touch with these people and talk to them about whether they are interested in building. The really nice thing is that you kind of get the second bite of the cherry, and when they decide that they want to build and they upgrade their account, you can then decide where is best to put them in your business. And that could be really, really valuable, because then you know that they're a builder and you can start structuring really effectively as to where to put them. So I think it's a really good idea. But what we've got to do is be careful when someone goes to register or sign up, that you don't have them sign up in the wrong place. Because if they do, you've got to wait the 90 days to get them to upgrade their account. So the best thing is going to be for you to actually make sure you enroll them, and then make sure you don't make the mistake and enroll them in the wrong place. So if you're going to enroll these people, make sure you enroll them under the wholesale prices area. So there will be more information coming out on this, but I thought I'd start sharing it with you at the moment. So keep it in mind. It's a little bit confusing because they're going to talk about wholesale customers versus wellness advocates. Obviously, it's good to keep talking to people about being a wellness advocate, and if they buy into the idea of sharing and growing, then you're going to make them a wellness advocate and place them as you would within the first 14 days. Okay. So make sure that you focus on that and be aware of it. But there will be more information. So as I said, in Australia, the preferred membership one will go, and we will just have the wholesale advocates. All right. So everyone happy with that? Keep your eyes and ears open. There'll be more info. Has anyone got any questions on it? If you have, just unmute yourself and fire away. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of move on to the next area, I think, seeing as we've got sort of 15 minutes. Any questions? Are we good? Nurit, unmute you. Yep.
Yeah, I have a question, and I might be off track here. Why would a person that would enroll with doTERRA choose to be in that category and not get points or commission or the option to do that? Why? What's the incentive to open such an account?
A good question. In Australia, it's going to be the same. They're not going to ask for any form of tax information or ABN number. And there are people that I've come across, and sometimes in a practice like Tessa's, in a naturopath scenario, there are patients or clients in there that are doing it purely for the oils, and they really don't want to be involved in the business at all. And also, there may well be people who have a negative aversion towards social network sales. So if that's the case, then they can become a wholesale customer. And they're not part of a network marketing business. They just have a equivalent of a Costco account where they can buy wholesale, and you know that they're going to buy wholesale, and it's just going to add volume to your business. But yeah, there might be a whole heap of reasons why someone might not be really wanting to be involved in the commission side. And I know that there are clients of Tessa's as patients that don't necessarily want to be part of that sales type approach. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yes, thanks.
All right.
I was going to say, sorry, Craig, they'll still get their points back and their free product of the month. So it's just basically just the commission. That's the only difference.
I'll check with you on product of the month. I don't think they qualify for product of the month.
Well, okay. It was just on that slide. That's all that you just showed.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. What they don't qualify for, I'll just read it because I actually found it earlier today. They don't qualify for any of the Wellness Advocate specials, like the Rose and those ones that get offered the incentive ones. They don't qualify for any of those incentive awards. But yeah, sorry, you're right. The product of the month is there. Okay. Yeah, Catherine, as you said, some people just want to try the oils and then decide that they want to share. And yeah, we just got to have a look at that 90 days around upgrading the account or not. So I think we just need to have a solid conversation with these people and explain to them clearly what the options are, which is fine. And then Danielle, yes, they can use the Loyalty Rewards program. That'll be fine. They can still go on Loyalty Rewards and still order regularly. That's all good. They've got a slightly different back office, apparently. It looks a little bit easier to operate because obviously there's nothing in there about commissions or tree because they can't have a downline. So their back office is basically just a shop. And they also don't have a web address, so no one can buy from them. So they don't have a URL where they can give it to anyone for anyone else to buy. So that looks slightly different. All right. But I think there's a really good strategy idea on how to use these folks and use them smartly. So I'm sure we'll see some more videos coming out. So in this presentation, there's a link to a comparison on the doTERRA site, the comparison between Wholesale Customer and Wellness Advocate. I won't run through this now. I'll let you go and have a look at it. But the most important thing is that you've got the second opportunity to place them in another 14 days after they upgrade. So that's really, really cool. Okay. So keep your eyes and ears open around that one. We'll talk around that some more. Excellent. So these are links to the wellness, the wholesale customer training. That's all on the doTERRA website. I'll have this PowerPoint link in the presentation and on the YouTube around that as well. Let me just talk quickly about Malaysia. I've been in discussions with Singapore today in the rain. I managed to get hold of the Singapore office and started talking to Nancy Chan, who's the account manager. Are you all aware that effectively from this month, Malaysia is on a soft launch to go live with Wellness Advocates in Malaysia? So has anyone got any friends or people you know in Malaysia? Yes, no, maybe? If you don't, every time you talk to anyone, find out if they know anyone in Malaysia or Singapore. We certainly didn't realize, but we have a naturopath colleague of Tessa's who turns out she has family living in Malaysia and working in Malaysia. She's just enrolled one of them, and we are now in the position to go ahead. So let me explain to you the latest news, and I'll probably just read this to you. So I got this email from Nancy Chan today, who's based in Singapore. So she says to me, currently Malaysia is gearing up to commence selling directly to their members through the Singapore office. Until it goes completely live, which should be early April, the process is register a Malaysian member as a global access member, a GAC member, because Malaysia doesn't come up on the list of countries on the online registration. So you register them as a global access member. Then that new member has to send an email to doTERRA, and the email address is just MY, as in Malaysia, MY. And I'll put this information on the website as well, my@doterra.com. And they have to send an email to that email address with their Malaysian tax information. It's called an NRIC. So they send that through to doTERRA, and doTERRA will then activate that back office for the Malaysian member. Takes a day or two, but that Malaysian member will then get a special back office access to Malaysia. And this will obviously change and become the same as our Australian system in the next couple of weeks. As soon as that Malaysian person has access to that back office, they can then place an order as we do, and it will be shipped from Singapore directly to Malaysia. I also understand that the Malaysian folks can then claim back, I think it's a 6% sales tax that's actually charged on the Singaporean one. So they can register right now as a global access member and then email straight away to get their account converted. And it'll be a couple of weeks before it gets completely automated. But at the moment, it can be registered, but register them global access member and then send the email and ask for the account to be converted. Okay. Apparently in April and May, if you have a look at this doTERRA Facebook page for Malaysia and the doTERRA Singapore page, there's a whole series of events coming up in Singapore and Malaysia. Dr. Hill's there, as well as some of the doTERRA owners. They're going to be there and running product and training events. So if you do have anyone over there, get onto it and have a look about it. To Tanya's question, I haven't heard any more about it extending across to Indonesia at this stage. Indonesia is still listed as a global access country. I do know that there are people who've opened accounts for Indonesians who deliver to Australia, and then they on-forward and deliver it from, or send it from here to Indonesia. I'm not sure what the general view is of customs on that, but I know that there are some people. I'm not sure what they listed on the sort of details of mailing. So hopefully, as this continues to grow, it will expand, and that Singapore warehouse will expand and start distributing. But guys, it's a great opportunity. If you do know anyone over there, it's a real chance, because there are a lot of Australians on working in Singapore, and it's really a good opportunity for you to think about who you connected with on Facebook and see whether it's either Australian expats working in Singapore or whether you know anyone over there or someone who can get it going. There's a big plus for anyone in Malaysia joining now, because as in New Zealand, they've got the opportunity to become founding members in Malaysia. I don't know all the rules around founding members, but basically you have to become a gold and maintain gold. And there's a certain number of people who become then the first ones to become founding members, and they actually earn more and get a bigger share of the country's revenue. So because it's new, we've got a real opportunity to support and grow that. So if you know anyone in Malaysia, please have a look at it. I know, Michelle, you just asked a question around tax file numbers. In Australia, as soon as you become silver, you have to give doTERRA an ABN, not a tax file number, all right? But you've got to have an ABN registered when you become silver rank. And then you've got to share that ABN with the Australian account. Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right, so this is on the slides. Email your Malaysian government ID to my@doTERRA, but get someone registered on a global access member. Okay. All good. So keep that opportunity in mind. I think it's a great one to have a look at. Just to, I suppose, touch on a couple of other things from convention. The other one is that they're launching Healing Hands in Australia as part of the community fundraising. There'll be more information around this. And basically what they've said is there will be the Rose hand lotion. And if you purchase that one, and this is actually the slide, as Minion asked, that had the details around the Hope Essential Oil Blend, which we haven't heard any more on this. But certainly the nice thing around this is that we'll be able to make a donation and a contribution to the Australian Healing Hands Foundation. And then they will be looking to us to recommend charity opportunities in Australia to support through the doTERRA group in Australia. So again, watch this space. A lot of interesting stuff coming around this as well for us. Okay. Anyone else who is keen to come to Perth, 1st, 2nd, 3rd of June, there are still tickets available. I did go out on Facebook and say that if there's anyone who wants to go, who rank advances and qualifies as a premier, and gets there in time to go, please let me know, because we've got some extra convention tickets. So I'm happy to sponsor a new premier a convention ticket. You just have to get there and find some accommodation. If you're keen to come to Western Australia with us, that's the 1st to the 3rd of June. And then there are also tickets available to Global Convention. If you are interested in heading there, that's the 6th, 7th and 8th of September for anyone who might be interested in going to Global. Okay, and then just a reminder, we've got 5 or 6 folks in the business that are doing Diamond Club. Big shout out and thank you to Sarah. I know she's not online tonight, but Sarah Badkey's put her hand up to help one of Tanya's team. Really keen to support her to grow her business with a new wellness advocate coming on in Robina. And that's really the spirit of Diamond Club. So if anyone has got classes booked in April, please post in our Facebook group, reach out and contact the guys that are on Diamond Club. These are the Diamond Club specials for April. So if you enroll with a 100 PV order, you get a free Citrus Bliss. If you enroll with a 400 order, you get Citrus Bliss and the new Lavender piece. So those are really cool. So why wouldn't you ask a Diamond Clubber to come and help you with a training class? I know that it's now the 3rd month of Diamond Club, and the guys are really keen to keep pushing and growing. And a really, really good opportunity if you've got anything coming up, guys, to reach out. Just post in our Facebook group or send a message out. The folks that are doing it, if I can remember the names correctly, so we've got Larissa McCoy, Natalie Sanderson, Sarah Badkey, Jackie Isles, Amy Lowe, and I'm missing one more.
Lee.
Who we got? Sorry. Oh, Lee Rudder. That's correct. Yes. So Lee Rudder as well in Tanya's team. So there are at least 6 that I know of that are floating around the area, guys. So please put your hands up and let's see if we can find any of those. Okay. So that was everything. I've been talking for an hour. I'm exhausted. Anyone got any questions? Otherwise, we're going to all go. Here we go. Nira, hand up. I'll unmute you. There you go. What can we do?
I'm just asking about the essential skincare collection. Is that my imagination, or is that coming sometime in April as well? The whole thing, not just the moisturizer.
Yep. In the email that came, they said they are working on the essential skincare collection as well. I'll see if I can find it quickly and just read it to you. I'm not sure exactly what will be coming. They're doing their best to get as much of it as they possibly can. So it will be a case of just keeping eyes and ears open around what it is. Sorry, I've lost my email. Okay, any other questions while I'm looking for it? Deb's lost it. If not, we heading close to past. All right, who's got a campaign on? Who's doing what to get Lifelong Vitality fired up from next week? If you have, tell us what you're doing. I know you have, Catherine. I'm going to unmute you. Tell us what you're doing.
What am I doing? What have I done? I've set up a challenge for everyone to buy their LLV on their next LRP order, and I want them to try it for at least a couple of weeks and then write a testimonial. And anyone who writes a testimonial goes into the draw for some very generous prizes that Craig and Tess have put up for us. So yeah, and I'm just feeding information about the LLV into the group over the month as well, because I really want people to be aware of how amazing those products are. And the more I learn about them, the more impressed I am with how much research doTERRA really put into their products. So yeah. That's great.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and I know we've kind of duplicated the same thing across Tanya's area as well, because we think it's a great idea. So we're going to share. We're going to share with the lucky draw winners. We've got some of the new Serenity gel caps to let someone luckily win that and try it, which we've had brought in from the States, which is great. And we've also got DDR Prime capsules that will provide that to someone as well as a lucky winner. That is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. If you haven't got one, make sure you get it in your order. Lifelong Vitality, really important. 30-day guarantee on this one. So they have confirmed that in Australia they will be upholding the 30-day guarantee test. So if someone buys them and tries them according to the proposed dosage and uses them and is not feeling any different, they can send them back and get their money back. Apparently there's only been one case of that in America, and it's the top selling product in America. So that's rumor has it. My one case, maybe a bit more, but that's what I was told. So tell everyone it's only been one case, all right? So that's what it is. These ones will be available. I haven't seen the pricing yet, but they will be available individually and not in the complete pack. So we'll probably see information on Monday around the individual pricing on this, okay? And then, Nurit, I did just find the email. I've just got to make sure I don't read you the bit about the new oil that's coming out. But
no, you can just sneak that in as well.
No, I won't sneak that in. I've been dropping enough hints on the new oil. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. And I'll just make sure behind me I cover that area where it's sitting on the table so you can't see it. All right, so yep, they said, in addition, we've managed to add the Essential Skincare Hydrating Cream. We are also working on having an Essential Skincare Kit available. Stay tuned for more news on this after the 7th of April. Okay, so by next week, we'll probably know a little bit more around the Essential Skincare Kit.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Otherwise, guys, thank you very, very much. We're all good? Awesome. Good luck for the last couple of days. Go out and wrap it up. And it's by far the biggest month. I know I was talking to Jane down in Singleton earlier today. This is ridiculously the biggest month we have ever had. We have had an overall volume as of this moment of 350,279 PV. That is like 450,000 Australian dollars worth of product in our downline. We've had 570 new members join in our team this month. It is ridiculous. It is growing so rapidly. And I've had 3 inquiries this week, 2 from New Zealand and 1 from Singapore, who have found us on the internet and are starting to hear about doTERRA in New Zealand and in Singapore. So if you've got people in New Zealand, if you've got people in Asia, you need to be talking to them because the opportunity is massive. There are only 7,500 people with wellness advocate accounts in New Zealand. Don't miss the boat. Make sure that you can get someone who's interested in sharing. And the New Zealanders are very keen on natural products. I can tell you that. Tess is over there 2-3 times a year with her naturopathy practice, and she sources some of her products from New Zealand. So they're very open. So if you can talk to people over there, you need to think about broadening your horizons and heading off to New Zealand. I've just had an email back from the Singapore head office asking me to come and visit them in Malaysia. So I'm thinking a trip to Malaysia is starting to sound like a good idea. I just need to work on New Zealand as well.
I was going to say, why not, Craig? Tess is tripping around, so you deserve to have a trip around sometime.
Damn right. My sister's coming to Bangkok from South Africa in May. I think I'm going to go and visit her, and I'll leave Tess with the kids. Awesome. Guys, that's it. Anyone got anything else? Otherwise, we wrap it up. Thank you. Good luck for the next couple of days. I hope it all comes together, and we'll talk some more over the weekend or next week. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night. Cheers. See you later.